Hello everybody and welcome to this quick video with myself and Simon Bates. We are going to look at the two professional Yamaha tenors. So this is the 875 and, albeit a very special, 82Z, because it's a question we get asked quite a bit in the shop. What's the difference? You know, how do they compare in how they play, how they compare in how they feel, because there is a tiny bit of difference there. So Simon, we should say, cards on the table, you are an 875 owner, player, long-termer, aren't you?
Indeed, yeah. Well, ever since 1994, so...
Crikey.
Yeah, I've been a Yamaha artist for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to be and very pleased to be.
Absolutely, but that has allowed you to play the different models various times and in various stages of their production. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see your kind of independent thoughts in terms of, obviously, you like Yamaha, but about the two different horns back to back. So maybe let's have a little toot on the 875, because I also want to talk about how maybe it's marketed, but we'll get to that in a second. So give us a bit of a toot first. So that feels very comfortable for you. That's not, it's not your horn, your particular horn, but it's a new one. So what I was going to say was, a lot of people perhaps think of the 875 as more of a classical instrument. Now, you're the living embodiment of why that isn't necessarily true. So just give me your vibe on that from being on the inside a bit.
I mean, I guess, and we've had discussions, Yamaha and myself, about this because, you know, I feel like a saxophone's a saxophone. You know, if you want to use an old Selmer to play funk, then, you know, there's no problem with that. So it's more, you know, what you put on as the mouthpiece and that sort of thing, which is, and the choice of reed and ligature, which is going to make more of a difference to the overall sound. But I find with the top-end Yamahas, the tone's very full, it's very rich. It's what you want anyway from the saxophone itself.
So I suppose the pertinent question, though, is, obviously, when you started the 875, there wasn't an 82Z.
No, there wasn't.
But you were involved in the launch of this at various events or whatever. So what is it about the 875, just from your point of view, that makes you still stay on it?
I guess it's that comfort thing. It's the feeling of home. You know, you put your hand on the body of the saxophone and it just goes where you expect it to go. With the 82Z, the hand position is slightly different. It's not massively different, but it's different enough just to feel not uncomfortable, but different.
Yeah.
So I guess you know we're talking very small tolerances here. You know, they're both great saxophones, and in fact you'll probably hear later the latest version of the 82Z has turned my head a little bit. I mean, I love the EX, the 875, because it just feels like home, feels like my horn.
Yeah, cool. Well, okay, let's give this 82Z a try. Now, this is a limited edition version, so it has this umber lacquer. The also difference is it has the neck screw and it has a C1 neck. Now, the normal, quote-unquote, H2Z has a V1 neck, which is a little bit more open than is on the 875 normally. So Yamaha, I know we talked about how things are generally marketed, but the H2Z is very much pitched towards the jazz end of things. And I think with the addition of the V1, the metal resonators on the pads on the H2Z, it all helps towards that extra brightness they were looking for. But maybe let's have a little listen to this and see how it compares.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, just sitting next to you, I feel perhaps, you may disagree, the 875 has a little bit more tubbiness in it, in the sound.
It does.
When
There's more depth to it. But again, I think it's because that's my saxophone, effectively. You know, you do get used to an instrument.
Yeah.
This is an absolute thing of beauty, but it also feels great. It responds well. You know, I enjoy playing them both.
Yeah, there's a liveliness and a vibrancy as well.
There is, yeah.
To both of them, but especially I think on this. So in summary, we may or may not have answered the question about which may be better or worse or what you might want to go for. I think generally we always encourage people to come and try them back to back,
Yeah.
and we try and keep those both in stock because it might just be a little bit of where your fingers sit. You prefer one or the other, depending on your mouthpiece. Simon's on a very lively Guardala. You might be on something darker, an Ebonite Link or something, and they would respond differently to that as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Well, it's all about the feel of it, the comfort. The 875 for me has got perhaps the depth and the richness. This has got the power that the 875 perhaps doesn't have. But it's a close run thing.
Cool. All right. Well, give us a little bit more of the H2Z on the way out then.